In the bustling locker room of Jefferson High in suburban Chicago, Emily Harper stared at her reflection in the mirror, her heart pounding as she clutched the captain's armband she'd earned through years of sweat and sacrifice. But that afternoon, as the team gathered for practice, Coach Ramirez pulled her aside with a stern look that chilled her to the bone. "Emily, your sister called me, said you're gay. I can't have distractions like that leading this team," he muttered, stripping her of the armband right there, her world shattering in an instant as whispers spread like wildfire among her teammates. Emily's twin sister Sarah had always been the golden child, straight-A student, prom queen, the one their conservative parents paraded at church gatherings. Growing up in a tight-knit evangelical family in the Midwest, the sisters shared everything from clothes to secrets, until Emily realized her feelings for girls weren't just a phase. She confided in Sarah during a late-night heart-to-heart 2 years ago, swearing her to secrecy, but Sarah's face had twisted with disapproval, quoting Bible verses about sin and normalcy. Now at 18, Emily was paying the price for that trust. She stormed home that evening, bursting into their shared bedroom where Sarah sat scrolling on her phone, oblivious or perhaps feigning it. "Why, Sarah? Why would you do this to me?" Emily demanded, her voice breaking. Sarah looked up, eyes wide but unrepentant. "I did it for you, Em. Coach needed to know you can't hide who you are forever. Mom and Dad would flip if they found out from someone else." The betrayal cut deeper than any loss on the field. Emily felt exposed, raw, like her identity had been weaponized against her. As days blurred into weeks, the fallout rippled through Emily's life. Teammates who once high-fived her now avoided eye contact in the hallways, murmuring about team unity and focus. Her best friend on the soccer team, Mia, pulled her into an empty classroom one afternoon. "Em, I heard what happened. That's messed up. But some girls are saying it's better this way, no drama." Mia's words stung, but they ignited a spark in Emily. She wasn't just fighting for her spot. She was battling the invisible walls of expectation that had confined her for years. At home, the tension thickened. Their parents, devout Christians who ran a local bakery, sensed something was off but attributed it to teenage moods. Emily overheard them praising Sarah for her maturity in handling school responsibilities, unaware of the rift she'd caused. Nights became sleepless battles in Emily's mind. Was loving someone of the same gender worth this isolation? Should she deny it all to reclaim her life, or stand firm and risk everything? Enter Lucinda Rivera, the new transfer student from California, who joined the soccer team amid the chaos. Lucinda was openly lesbian, with a confident swagger that turned heads, short cropped hair, tattoos peeking from her sleeves, and a laugh that cut through the awkward silences. She noticed Emily practicing alone on the field after hours, drilling shots into the net with furious precision. "Hey, Harper, right? Heard about the captain thing." "Sucks," Lucinda said, jogging over. Emily tensed, expecting pity or judgment, but Lucinda just passed her the ball. "Want a scrimmage? I could use the workout." Their first conversation flowed effortlessly, from soccer tactics to shared dreams of college scholarships. For the first time, Emily felt seen, not as a scandal but as a person. But pursuing anything with Lucinda meant amplifying the risks. If word got out, it could destroy her chances of reconciliation with the team or family. The pressure mounted during a family dinner when Sarah, perhaps guilt-ridden or seeking validation, steered the conversation toward moral issues in schools. "Did you hear about that girl in Ohio who got kicked off her team for being?" "You know," Sarah said casually, her eyes flicking to Emily. Their father nodded gravely. "Good riddance. Sports should be about discipline, not agendas." Emily's fork clattered against her plate. She excused herself, retreating to the backyard where tears finally fell. That night she texted Lucinda. "Can't do this anymore. It's too much." Lucinda replied instantly. "Meet me at the park. Talk it out." Under the streetlights, Lucinda listened as Emily poured out her fears, the betrayal, the loneliness, the gnawing doubt if her feelings were wrong. Lucinda shared her own story of coming out in a liberal bubble, only to face backlash when visiting relatives. "It's not about them approving, Em. It's about you living your truth." Their hands brushed, a spark igniting, but Emily pulled away, terrified of the cost. School became a minefield. Rumors escalated when someone spotted Emily and Lucinda grabbing coffee after practice. Coach Ramirez called a team meeting, emphasizing core values without naming names, but his glare lingered on Emily. She confronted Sarah in the school parking lot, voices rising. "You ruined my life because you couldn't handle my secret? That's not love, that's control." Sarah shot back, tears streaming. "I was scared for you. What if mom and dad disown you? I'm protecting the family." The argument drew stares, deepening the divide. Emily's grades slipped as anxiety took hold. She skipped practices, isolating herself further. Yet, in stolen moments with Lucinda, she found solace. A whispered encouragement, a shared glance that promised more. But each step toward authenticity meant sacrificing the facade she'd built. As regionals approached, the team faltered without Emily's leadership. Losses piled up, and murmurs turned to pleas for her return. Mia cornered her in the cafeteria. "We need you, Em. Coach was wrong. Half the team thinks so." Emily wavered, torn between resentment and loyalty. At home, the facade cracked when their mother found Emily's journal. Entries about Lucinda spilling out like confessions. The confrontation was brutal. "Is this true? Are you like that?" her mother whispered, horror in her eyes. Their father stormed in, demanding explanations. Sarah hovered in the doorway, guilt etched on her face. "I told Coach to help her," Sarah admitted finally, the truth unraveling. The family erupted. Accusations flying, Emily defending her right to love, her parents clinging to their beliefs. "This isn't you," her father insisted. "It's a choice, and a bad one." Emily fled to Lucinda's apartment, collapsing in her arms, the weight of rejection crushing her spirit. In the quiet of Lucinda's room, surrounded by posters of strong women athletes, Emily faced her crossroads. "I can't lose my family," she sobbed. Lucinda held her close, their foreheads touching. "You won't lose yourself, that's what matters." The intimacy was tender, a balm to Emily's wounds, but it fueled her resolve. She decided to fight back, not just for her spot but for visibility. Rallying supportive teammates, she petitioned the school board, citing discrimination laws. The process was grueling, interviews, statements facing judgmental stares. Sarah, witnessing Emily's pain, began questioning her own prejudices, reading articles on LGBTQ+ rights in secret. The turning point came during a heated board meeting. Emily stood tall, voice steady. "My orientation doesn't define my skills. Denying me because of who I love is the real distraction." Supporters cheered. Opponents grumbled. Coach Ramirez, under pressure, reinstated her, albeit grudgingly. But the victory was bittersweet. Her parents remained distant, attending games but avoiding conversations. Sarah approached her after the meeting, apologetic. "I was wrong, Em. I thought I was helping, but I hurt you." Reconciliation tentative, the sisters began mending their bond through honest talks. With Emily back as captain, the team surged toward state championships. Practices intensified, her leadership sharper from adversity. Lucinda became her anchor, their relationship blooming discreetly amid the chaos. Yet societal whispers persisted. Anonymous notes in her locker, online trolls questioning her fitness to lead. Emily channeled the hurt into fuel, pushing the team harder. A pivotal game against rivals tested her. Down by 2 at halftime, she rallied them with a speech on resilience. "We've all faced battles off the field. Let's win this one together." They triumphed, advancing, but Emily paid personally. Her father skipped the game, a silent protest. As finals loomed, family tensions peaked. Their mother, torn, invited Emily for a private talk. "I don't understand it, but I love you," she said, a crack in the armor. Their father resisted, citing faith, but Sarah advocated. "Love isn't conditional, Dad." The internal family drama mirrored Emily's growth, each member grappling with change. On the field, Emily and Lucinda shared a knowing look before kickoff, their connection a quiet strength. The championship game was electric, under floodlights in a packed stadium. Emily scored the winning goal in overtime, the crowd erupting. Hoisted on shoulders, she scanned for her family. Her parents there, clapping awkwardly, Sarah beaming. In the aftermath, Emily reflected on the costs. Lost trust, fractured bonds, but gained authenticity. With Lucinda by her side, she whispered, "Worth every scar." But was betraying a sibling's secret ever justifiable, even if done out of misguided love? In the glow of victory, Emily's life shifted gears. but the scars from betrayal lingered like shadows on the pitch. Months after the championship, she committed to a college scholarship at UCLA, drawn by its progressive vibe and strong soccer program. Lucinda, a year older, was already there, majoring in psychology with dreams of counseling LGBTQ+ youth. Their relationship deepened, no longer hidden in whispers but celebrated in small acts, hand-holding on campus walks, shared dorm dinners. Yet, back in Chicago, the family rift simmered. Holidays became battlegrounds. Thanksgiving saw awkward silences, her father avoiding eye contact while her mother tried bridging gaps with forced small talk. Sarah, now in community college, immersed herself in sociology classes, her worldview expanding. She volunteered at a local pride center, atonement in action, but Emily's forgiveness came slowly, in measured conversations over coffee. One winter break, Emily returned home, Lucinda in tow for moral support. The introduction was tense. "This is Lucinda, my girlfriend," Emily announced at dinner. Her father's face hardened, fork pausing mid-air. "We don't condone this lifestyle," he said flatly. Her mother fidgeted, glancing at Sarah for help. Sarah stepped in. "Dad, it's not a lifestyle, it's who she is. Remember how you felt when Grandpa didn't approve of you marrying Mom because she wasn't from our church?" The parallel stung, forcing reflection. That night, Emily and her father argued in the garage, voices echoing. "I raised you better," he accused. "You raised me to be honest," she countered. "Hiding hurt more than anything." He stormed off, but seeds of doubt were planted. Societal pressures amplified the drama. At college, Emily joined the Queer Athletes Alliance, advocating against discrimination. A viral article about her high school ordeal brought supporters and haters, emails praising her courage, others spewing hate. One particularly vicious online campaign targeted her scholarship, claiming she stole it from deserving straight athletes. Lucinda helped her navigate the storm, reminding her, "They're scared of change. You're the change." But the toll was emotional. Emily battled anxiety, questioning if visibility was worth the exhaustion. Therapy sessions became lifelines, unpacking layers of internalized shame from her upbringing. Sarah's journey paralleled Emily's, fraught with guilt and awakening. She confessed to a therapist about outing Emily, labeling it her biggest regret. "I thought I was saving her soul," she admitted. The therapist challenged, "Whose soul were you really protecting?" Sarah began dating a guy from her class, but her advocacy work introduced her to diverse perspectives, making her question family doctrines. A family therapy session, suggested by their mother, exploded into revelations. "You betrayed me," Emily accused Sarah. "I was terrified," Sarah replied, "of losing you to something I didn't understand." Their parents listened, their father admitting, "The church says one thing, but seeing my daughter suffer. Maybe I need to rethink." Midway through her freshman year, Emily faced a moral dilemma when a teammate, Jordan, confided her own secret attraction to girls. "Don't tell anyone," Jordan pleaded. Emily nodded, but flashbacks to Sarah's betrayal haunted her. Should she encourage Jordan to come out, risking similar pain, or advise caution? She chose honesty. "It's your timeline, but living openly freed me, after the hell." Jordan's eventual coming out strengthened the team, but not without backlash from conservative donors threatening funding. Emily led a protest, chanting for equality, Lucinda at her side. Media coverage amplified their story, turning them into reluctant icons. Back home, the family dynamic evolved painfully. Their father attended a PFLG meeting reluctantly, dragged by their mother. Hearing stories of rejected kids softened him. He wept privately, confronting his biases. A breakthrough came during Emily's spring break visit. Over breakfast, he said gruffly, "I don't get it, but I miss my daughter." Tears flowed, hugs followed. Sarah facilitated, her own growth evident. Yet, perfection eluded them. Arguments flared over politics, religion, but progress inched forward. On the field, Emily's sophomore season brought new challenges. As co-captain, she mentored younger players, emphasizing inclusivity. A rivalry game turned ugly when opponents taunted her orientation. "Focus on the ball, not the slurs," Lucinda advised pre-game. Emily scored twice, silencing doubters, but post-game exhaustion hit. "Is it always this fight?" she asked Lucinda. "Not always, but for now, yes." And we're in it together. The summer internship at a sports equity nonprofit tested Emily further. She investigated discrimination cases mirroring her own. One involved a coach outing a player, echoes of her past. Testifying, she faced cross-examination. Wasn't your sister's action well-intentioned? Emily paused. Intent doesn't erase harm. Betrayal costs trust. The case won, but it reopened wounds, prompting a call to Sarah. I forgive you, Emily said. But I'll never forget. Sarah replied. I wouldn't want you to. It changed me too. As relationships mended, Emily and Lucinda planned a future graduation, perhaps marriage in a state that recognized it. But societal debates raged. Supreme Court rulings on LGBTQ+ rights loomed, affecting their lives. Emily volunteered for campaigns, her voice stronger. Yet doubts crept. Had she sacrificed too much family harmony for personal truth? In a quiet moment on a UCLA bench, Emily reflected on the journey. From betrayal to triumph, loss to love. The costs were steep, but the gains immeasurable. Still, the question lingered, sparking endless debates in her mind. But can family loyalty ever justify exposing someone's deepest secret? Or is privacy an unbreakable right? Emily's college years unfolded like a relentless match, each semester bringing new opponents in the form of prejudices and personal trials. Junior year hit hard when a national scandal erupted. A prominent athlete was outed by a sibling, mirroring her story, igniting media frenzy. Reporters hounded Emily for comments, thrusting her back into the spotlight. How did you overcome it? One asked. By not letting it define me, she replied, but privately flashbacks tormented her. Sarah's phone call to coach, the stripped armband, the isolation. Lucinda noticed her withdrawal, pulling her into a campus cafe. Talk to me, Em. You're carrying this alone again. Emily confessed her resurfaced anger. Sarah says she's changed, but part of me resents her forever. Lucinda nodded empathetically. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's choosing peace. The family visited for homecoming, a tentative reunion. Their father, now reading books on allyship, surprised Emily with a pride pin on his jacket. I'm trying, he said awkwardly. Their mother baked Emily's favorite cookies, a silent olive branch. Sarah brought her boyfriend, introducing him nervously, but the evening soured when politics arose. That Supreme Court case, it's attacking traditional values, their father muttered. Emily countered. Values that exclude people like me? Tensions rose, but Sarah mediated. We're family. Let's focus on that. The visit ended on a fragile high note, with promises of more open dialogues. Professionally, Emily excelled, earning All-American honors. But a knee injury during a crucial game sidelined her, forcing introspection. In physical therapy, she journaled about trade-offs. The thrill of victory versus emotional tolls. Loving Lucinda is my greatest win, she wrote. But the battles exhaust me. Lucinda supported her recovery, their bond a sanctuary amid chaos. They attended couples counseling, addressing how Emily's past traumas affected trust. I fear betrayal everywhere, Emily admitted. The therapist probed. Even from Lucinda? No, she realized. But from the world, yes. Sarah's life intersected dramatically when she faced her own crisis. Her boyfriend proposed, but doubts plagued her. Echoes of conformity she'd once imposed on Emily. She called Emily in tears. Am I settling because it's normal? Emily advised. Don't repeat my mistakes. Choose authenticity. Sarah broke off the engagement, pursuing a master's in social work, specializing in family dynamics. Their bond strengthened through shared vulnerabilities. Sarah apologized again, detailing her internal conflicts. I was projecting my fears onto you. Emily hugged her during a visit. We're both healing. Societal mores widened with anti-LGBTQ+ legislation in several states, prompting Emily to activism. She organized rallies speaking passionately. Outing someone isn't protection, it's violence. Backlash included death threats, forcing campus security escorts. Lucinda worried. Is this worth the danger? Emily wavered but persisted. If not me, who? A pivotal moment came at a national conference where she met other outed survivors. Sharing stories forged alliances, but hearing worse tales, disownments, suicides, intensified her resolve and fears. Senior year brought capstone decisions. Emily proposed to Lucinda during a sunset hike in the Hollywood Hills, ring in hand. Through every storm you're my calm. Lucinda accepted tearfully, but planning the wedding exposed fractures. Their parents' attendance hung in balance. Emily's father struggled with the ceremony's non-traditional elements. I love you, but this, he trailed. A family Zoom call turned therapy session. Accusations of stubbornness flew, but breakthroughs emerged. I've lost enough time judging, their father conceded. Sarah cheered. This is progress. The wedding was intimate, on a Malibu beach, blending traditions with personal touches. Vows echoed their journey. I choose you, flaws and fights included. Guests included teammates, activists, and family, her parents present if reserved. Post-honeymoon, Emily entered pro soccer drafts, but opted for coaching, inspired to mentor young athletes. Lucinda opened a clinic, their lives intertwined in purpose. Yet, fulfillment came with costs. Emily's knee never fully recovered, ending competitive dreams prematurely. Family gatherings remained navigated carefully, topics avoided to preserve peace. Sarah thrived in her career, advocating for siblings in crisis, her redemption arc complete. Reflecting on it all, Emily penned a memoir outline, questioning societal norms. In the end, as she watched a youth game, Emily pondered the intricate web of choices and consequences that shaped her path. But does the end justify the means when a betrayal leads to unintended growth? Or is the initial harm unforgivable? With her coaching whistle around her neck, Emily stood on the sidelines of a bustling Los Angeles youth soccer field, mentoring girls who reminded her of her younger self, fierce, uncertain, full of potential. Years after the wedding, life had settled into a rhythm of advocacy and domesticity with Lucinda, but echoes of the past resurfaced in unexpected ways. A documentary crew approached her for a feature on LGBTQ+ athletes, dredging up old wounds. Tell us about the outing, the director prodded. Emily hesitated, then shared. It was the catalyst for everything: pain, growth, love. Airing the film brought acclaim but also criticism. Some viewers accused her of glorifying drama, others hailed her resilience. Family evolution continued slowly. Her parents relocated to California for retirement, drawn closer by grandchildren dreams, though Emily and Lucinda chose adoption, navigating biases in the process. We want a family, Emily told agencies facing scrutiny. Her father, now a reluctant ally, wrote letters of support. My daughter taught me love knows no bounds. Sarah, married to a supportive partner, had twins of her own, naming one after Emily in tribute. Holidays blended seamlessly, debates turning to discussions rather than disputes. Professionally, Emily's nonprofit grew, partnering with schools to implement anti-discrimination policies. A high-profile case involved a teen outed by a peer. Emily testified, drawing parallels. Betrayal erodes trust, but rebuilding creates strength. Winning the case felt vindicating, but exhaustion crept in. Lucinda noticed. You're burning out, love. They took a sabbatical, traveling to Pride events worldwide, recharging amid global communities. Personal reckonings deepened when Sarah faced health scares. A breast cancer diagnosis at 35. Emily rushed to her side, roles reversing. I need you, Sarah whispered during chemo. Emily held her hand. Always. The ordeal forced confrontations with mortality, prompting Sarah to reflect. My mistake with you. It haunts me, Emily reassured. It shaped us both for better. Recovery bonded them irrevocably. Sarah emerging advocating for health equity in marginalized groups. Societal shifts influenced their narrative. With progressive laws advancing, Emily lobbied in D.C., her story influencing policy. Backlash persisted, protests against agenda pushing, but allies multiplied. Lucinda's clinic expanded, offering free sessions to families like theirs. Together, they authored a book on navigating coming out in conservative homes, blending their experiences. As decades passed, Emily grayed gracefully, retiring to mentorship. Watching her adopted daughter score her first goal, she felt the cycle complete, guiding without judgment. Lucinda, by her side, whispered, Look what we've built. Reflections on sacrifices abounded. Lost innocence, strained relations, but gained freedom, love, purpose. In quiet evenings, Emily pondered the moral ambiguities that defined her life. the betrayals that broke her, the choices that rebuilt her. But is it ever right to impose one's moral compass on another's private life, even within family, or does individual autonomy always prevail? Emily's legacy extended beyond personal triumphs, inspiring a new generation through her foundation scholarships for queer youth athletes. At 50, she keynoted a national summit, her voice steady. "My story began with betrayal, but it ends with empowerment." Applause thundered, but questions lingered in queue. "Did you ever fully forgive your sister?" Emily smiled wryly. "Forgiveness is a journey, not a destination." Post-event, Lucinda pulled her aside. "Proud of you always." Their enduring partnership, weathered by trials, stood as testament to resilience. Family ties once frayed wove tighter. Her parents, in their 70s, attended pride parades, waving flags with arthritic hands. "We were wrong," her father admitted over coffee. "Love is love." Sarah, cancer-free and thriving, co-ran workshops with Emily, their duo a symbol of reconciliation. "From enemies to allies," Sarah joked. Holidays buzzed with grandchildren's laughter, blending traditions old and new. Yet challenges persisted. A resurgence of conservative policies threatened rights. Emily mobilized, testifying before Congress. "Don't let history repeat," she urged. Personal health scares, Lucinda's heart condition, reminded them of fragility. "We've paid our dues," Lucinda said during recovery. Emily nodded. "And earned our peace." In retirement, they traveled, authoring sequels to their book, focusing on ethical dilemmas in family dynamics. Emily mentored online, answering queries from struggling teens. "Your truth is worth the fight." Reflecting on her twins' long-ago act, she acknowledged its unintended gifts: awakening, advocacy, authenticity. As sunsets painted their porch, Emily and Lucinda held hands, content in the life they'd forged from ashes. But ultimately, when a painful revelation forces growth, is the instigator a villain or an unwitting catalyst for change?